The sun hung low over Ouagadougou, casting long shadows across the wide, dusty streets. Inside the presidential palace, President Ibrahim Traoré stood by a tall window, his eyes scanning the city he had fought to liberate. The rhythm of the capital pulsed beyond the glass. Voices bargaining in markets, children laughing, the muffled grumble of traffic. Yet peace eluded him. The reports on his desk spoke of progress, stabilized prices, improved morale, increasing public trust. His advisors paraded good news before him daily, but he felt a gnawing unease, like something vital was being hidden just beyond the reach of his eyes. "You look troubled," his wife Isada said softly as she entered the room. "I am," he confessed. "They say the people are content, but I don't believe it. I hear nothing with my own ears. I see nothing with my own eyes. That is not leadership. It is blindness." She touched his arm gently. "And what will you do?" "I'll go to them. Today, quietly, without guards or titles. I must listen as a man, not as a president." Her eyes filled with fear. "Ibrahim, good men are easy targets." "That may be," he said with a sad smile, "but good men must still walk among their people." He kissed her forehead. "I'll return by sunset, among the people." He wore no ceremonial uniform, no sign of rank, just a white cotton shirt, well-worn brown trousers, and an old cap pulled low. At a distance, 2 loyal guards followed in plain clothes, their orders strict: protect, but do not interfere. Laurel Market pulsed with life. The scent of grilled meat mingled with ripe mangoes in the dry dust of late afternoon. Vendors called out prices. Bicycles weaved between carts. People bustled, bartered, and bantered. No one recognized the man walking slowly among them. Not the butcher slicing goat meat. Not the young woman arranging avocados. Not the boys rolling tires down the narrow paths. He was invisible, a passerby. Ibrahim listened. "Prices are up again," someone muttered. "They say soldiers beat a farmer near Zinyari, stole his cattle. The schools? Still closed. My son hasn't had class in 2 weeks." These weren't the voices of contentment. These were the voices of strain. The reports from his cabinet had been filtered, massaged, edited for comfort. Here on the streets, raw truth sang its own song. Then he heard something else. A voice in the crowd. A scratchy, battered radio sat on a wooden pole, its antenna bent. Beside it stood a boy, barefoot, no older than 12, his shirt torn at the collar. He stood atop a metal crate, calling out with the fervor of a preacher, "Danger in the palace. Traitors plot to kill President Traoré tonight." People laughed. Some clapped. A few tossed coins into his plastic cup, mistaking his cry for street theater. A child's game, a bit of mischief. But Ibrahim's breath caught in his throat. The boy's tone, it wasn't playful. It carried urgency, fear, truth dressed as performance. He approached. "Where did you hear that?" he asked. The boy narrowed his eyes. "Who's asking?" "Just a man who listens to the news," Ibrahim replied. The boy hesitated, then pulled a small tape recorder from his pocket. "I heard it on this. You want to hear it? Fine. But you'll owe me a coin." He pressed play. A voice crackled to life. "He must be gone before sunrise. The guards are ours. During tonight's council, we make the move. Burkina Faso will not be ruled by children." Ibrahim's blood turned to ice. He knew that voice. It belonged to General Abubakar Sando, his Minister of Defense, a man he had trusted with the nation's safety. The boy with the truth. "Come with me," Ibrahim said sharply. "Why? Who are you?" He removed his cap. The boy gasped. "You're President Traoré. Not so loud?" His guards closed in silently. "This boy comes with us. He's just saved my life." "What's your name?" "Ismael." "Ismael, tonight you've become more than a boy. You've become the voice of warning." They moved quickly, weaving through alleys. As they climbed into the waiting vehicle, Ibrahim looked back once more at the market. Its pulse continued, unaware that the heart of the nation had just shifted. The trap. Back at the palace, Captain Karim Ouattara listened to the recording with grim focus. It's worse than we thought, he said. They have insiders in security. They plan to kill you during tonight's council. Ibrahim stood still for a long time. Then let them try, he said. We'll give them their stage and reveal their script. At 11 p.m., the council chamber gleamed. Ministers arrived in suits, ties, polished shoes, masks of composure. General Sando sat calmly, fingers interlocked on the table, offering his usual tight smile. But hidden cameras had been placed. Loyal forces surrounded the room. Every movement was watched, every breath measured. Mid-discussion, Ibrahim's earpiece buzzed. Live transmission detected. The traitors are in place. His gaze fixed on General Sando. Then, the lights snapped off. The darkness within. Smoke hissed into the chamber. Shouts rang out. Through the chaos, masked commandos stormed in with night vision. In seconds, General Sando was wrestled to the floor. A transmitter the size of a button was torn from inside his jacket. Ibrahim stepped forward through the fog. You sat at my table, ate my food, swore loyalty. Sando snarled. You are a child playing king. Burkina Faso needs steel, not sentiment. It needs truth, Ibrahim replied. And your lies end tonight. A boy gone missing. But celebration was short-lived. Ismail, gone. Blood in the guest room. A shattered window. A broken radio. They took him, Karim reported, his voice tight with anger. A rogue unit, probably hoping to destroy the last piece of evidence. Ibrahim's face hardened. We find him, whatever it takes. Then, hope. A janitor, sweeping the hallway, found a small memory card inside the broken radio's battery slot. It held more than the original recording. Detailed meetings, plans, a list of co-conspirators. The boy had hidden the truth twice. He had known they might come for him. The sky burns. Signals pointed to an abandoned airstrip. A jet stood waiting. Helicopters raced through the night. The engines roared. A man dragged Ismail toward the plane's steps. The boy kicked and screamed. Then, a great wind howled. A spotlight lit the scene. President Traoré stepped down from the chopper, rifle in hand. Let him go, he ordered. The rogue agent turned, raised his weapon. But Ibrahim fired first. The man dropped. The president rushed forward, catching the trembling boy in his arms. I told you I'd return by sunset, he whispered. Ismail wept quietly. You didn't leave me. Never. A new dawn. By morning, the streets were silent. People gathered around televisions, radios, and phone screens as President Traoré addressed the nation. Ismail stood at his side. This boy, the president said, saved not just a man but a people. He heard what others ignored. He dared to speak. In him, I see the courage our future needs. Applause echoed from every corner of the country. Within weeks, the traitors were imprisoned. A new anti-corruption agency led by civilians was launched. The People's Guard was formed, ordinary citizens trained to defend justice. Ismail was given a scholarship, a home, and a permanent place in the presidential household. But more than institutions changed, so did hearts. The corner of memory. Every Sunday, without fail, President Ibrahim Traoré and Ismail walked back to the corner of Larla Market. They sat on a bench beside the old radio, now repaired and repainted. They listened, sometimes to news, sometimes to silence, always to the voices of the people. Do you hear that? Ibrahim would ask. What? Ismail would say, tilting his head. The truth? It never stops speaking. You just have to listen hard enough.